Hey, did you see the news today? Dre Bly coming back as a defensive backs coach. Steve Hyden as the tight end coach. Two more former players, but most notably, Dre Bly is going to get all the love, and rightfully so here. One of really the best Lions
free agent signings.
Well, obviously free agent signings, but one of the best Lions for a long period of time. He was in a group of elite members of the Detroit Lions. I think you'd consider him a Pro Bowler. He put out on Twitter, "I'm excited to announce that I've joined the Detroit Lions as cornerbacks coach. Thank you to Mrs. Sheila Ford Hamp and the rest of the Ford family, DC, Aaron Glenn, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, for an opportunity to come back home. Detroit Lions, one pride, let's go." Dre Bly, you'll remember. So many people, Braylon, talk about how the Detroit Lions were a paycheck. Free agents came to Detroit to get a paycheck. Dre Bly was one of those guys that actually performed. Dre Bly was one of those guys that actually came here and made it his home and really embraced the fans, gave it his all, week in, week out. This is a slam dunk signing for the Detroit Lions to add to their coaching staff. And again, we talk about culture guys, and I think you have to have the talent. But again, he's a culture guy that is going to be here. Those players will look at him and be like, yeah, I want to be like you, because that dude was a baller.
Absolute baller. You look at what Dre Bly did when he came to Detroit. He was coming off 2 Super Bowl appearances, one in which they won. They beat the Titans, the infamous stretch by Kevin Dyson, and the next one they lost, the infamous loss. Tom Brady. That was the birth of Tom Brady. So he definitely came here out of that pedigree, and he performed week in and week out. He's a big brother of mine. Like, as I'm watching this, I'm just going back to Michigan. Charles Rogers, friend of mine, rest in peace. He would take me once he got to Lions, and we would hang out. It would be Eddie Drummond, Dre Bly, Charles Rogers, and me and Big Baby all the time. I was hanging out with these guys when I was in college. And now you showed me Steve Hyden got the job as well. Steve Hyden was on the team in Cleveland when I was there my first 5 years. Excellent tight end. Look at this, is a picture of us in the end zone.
Wow, are you kidding me?
Joe Jurevicius scored the touchdown. That's Jason Wright. Jason Wright's now the president of the Washington Commanders. Steve Hyden, coach, tight ends coach, and there's some slappy in the back of the end zone.
Look at that picture.
But as I'm watching this, man, I'm like, one, let's talk about Steve first. Steve Hyden, great, excellent blocking tight end and capacity, and for a big dude, he was 6'4", 252. He could rumble. He could run. But he's going to be a guy that gets these tight ends right, whether it's Zylstra, whether it's Brock Wright. I like what he's going to do. Mitchell at tight end, James Mitchell. But I feel sad, Ryan. I'm old. Like, I'm looking at this team. Like, Hank Fraley I was on the team with him. He's a coach. Hank's past 42, 43. Steve Hyden, he was on the team. I was on the team with him. He's past 40. I was hanging out with Dre Bly, when I was, 18, 19 years old. I'm getting old, Ryan. All my friends are coaches.
You got to get that invite out to Lions camp. I need an assistant wide receiver coach position.
Maybe be assistant to the traveling secretary.
Mark Brunell. No. Hey, you knock it off. You do it. Mark Brunell threw me my last touchdown as a New York Jet. It was from Mark Brunell in the regular season.
You got Lions blood.
I know, right? I'm next. It's got to be me next.
That is insane.